This episode is sponsored today by the book 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce. This book was written by kids. It's for kids. It's a coloring book. When you have a tragedy of divorce and you have young children who do not know how to express themselves, this coloring book, 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce, is the coloring book for them. Pick it up today at blendingthefamily.com or even on Amazon. 10 Tips on How to Survive Your Parents' Divorce. Again, written by kids, for kids. Welcome to a special edition of Blending the Family, the podcast. I am your host, Tommy Maloney. And why do I say special? Well, did a little something different today. And it's going to be a two-part podcast. You've heard of the podcast, Blending the Family. You've even heard the podcast, Driving While Podcasting. Now, I have a brand new one for you called Walking While Podcasting. I had to get out of the house. I had to go for a walk. My health is just the crap right now. And I thought, hey, walking while podcasting. Why not? So in this first episode, you're going to hear me rambling. I will warn you, there's a lot of rambling, but I meet somebody on my walk. We talk about this gentleman's dog and how he acquired the dog, and it's a sad but happy story. And why am I going for a walk? You get to hear that. And part 2 is going to be as I walk home. All right, there you go. Walking while podcasting. That's it. I will just state the standard stuff. Please leave ratings and reviews on however you get this podcast, be it iTunes. Ratings and reviews are always nice to have. Stitcher Radio, IHeart Radio, Libsyn. Drop me a line. Go to the website. Drop me a line. And also, while you're on the website at blendingthefamily.com, that's blendingthefamily.com, sign up for the newsletter. Newsletter is out and about. There you go. You'll get to learn new stuff, what's going on with the world of Blending the Family. Upcoming guests, that's going to be part of it as well. And there you go. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing this podcast. Thanks for tuning in, downloading. And as my new friend, not really my friend, I haven't met him, but as Terry Crews would say, your success is my success. Enjoy Walking While Podcasting. Episode 1, Part 1. Well, not Episode 1. Episode 94, Part 1.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, you can't. No. Sorry. No. Sorry. No. Sorry. Welcome. Well, hold on. Went to the garage door is, that was rude of me. There we go. Welcome to this episode of Blending the Family, the podcast. I am your host, Tommy Maloney, and hopefully neighbors don't think I'm some kind of weirdo. Let me close the garage. All right. Welcome to the first ever Walking While Podcasting. How cool is that? Going for a walk, going to the grocery store to get some barbecue sauce. Going to wave at the neighbor. Didn't wave back. That's okay. And they were in their car. I don't even know who that was. That's why. Let me put the phone in my pocket so I can get my steps counted. Oh, what a gorgeous day here in northern Colorado. Wow, it's been too long since I've had this conversation with you. We haven't been doing any podcasting while driving. And I want to take advantage of, well, two things. One, I've been sitting in my home office all week, working on the website, working on how to use MailChimp, as the kids would say, more better. What else? Website. A lot of coaching calls. A lot of potential clients coming up. I hope, I should say. So I've been sitting a lot. Got up this morning and started walking and my back started to tighten up. I'm like, oh, you fat ass, get out. So, doing, in the crock pot today, doing pulled pork. I've never done shredded pulled pork. So, this is going to be not really interesting because, I mean, all you do is throw the pork in the crock pot and throw some barbecue sauce in, and that's it. But I just learned that I know how to, and not the skateboard term of shredding. I think it's a skateboard term, but how to shred chicken. I did that last week, so I want to do pulled pork, and I don't know how good it is. A lot of traffic this early in the morning, but I have a beer that's infused with chili, and I keep wanting to use that beer for brats, and we haven't done it. But I don't know if we're going to do brats this weekend. I don't think so. I don't know, but I'm thinking I should put the chili beer in with the pulled pork. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Whew. Man, what a gorgeous day. It's supposed to be close to 90 today. 90. And it's May. That's good, I think. We just got our sprinklers turned on yesterday, so hopefully the grass will start looking a little better. More better. What else is going on? I had all these things I wanted to talk to you about. You know, you play that in your head and you forget things. So anyway, like I said, it's been a long time since I've done just one-on-one podcasting with you. It's been, oh my gosh, this week, well, between last Friday and this week, I've recorded 2 podcasts, and like I said, I've been doing a lot of coaching as of late. Super excited about that. I love that. I love just trying to help people. Love it. And the cool thing is, people are responding. You know, people are listening to, my recommendations, my suggestions. So it's one of those eye-opener moments when you hear somebody say back at you, go, oh, thank you. That's a great idea. I'm going to implement it. Or, yeah, I'm going to take that suggestion. And it could be, a few people I've been working with on helping them with their LinkedIn profile. So here's a few tips. I'm going to talk LinkedIn real quick. Okay. Number 1, your profile picture should be from shoulders up, smiling. Should have a smiling picture, and just you solo. Nobody else. Just you solo. Okay? Number 2, this is one of my biggest pet peeves, is when, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, and let's say you want to reach out to, let's say me. So you type in Tommy Maloney, and you find on LinkedIn I put in the Tommy Maloney, and you'll see my profile: career coach, TEDx speaker, co-founder of Blending the Family, speaker, blah blah blah. All right, and you say, you know what, Tommy, I want to be connected with you. Great. Don't send me that generic message. Customize the message, okay? And this goes for anybody you're reaching out to on LinkedIn. is you have the capability of changing that generic message. For me, it means that somebody actually took the time to look at your profile, to what's this? Turn here. Okay. Looks like somebody had a race recently, or will be having a race recently. So it means that that person's taken the time to girl power. That's fun. On the path, there's all these chalk sayings on there. Man walking his dog. Very slow. How's it going?
Oh, doing well. How about you?
Wonderful. How are you two today?
Well, pretty good.
Just pretty good.
Keeping out of trouble.
Are you keeping out of trouble?
She says I feel better today than I have in a long time.
What's going on?
Oh, she's had that foot mash. She got run over by a car.
Oh.
Somebody threw her away. In
No.
Oklahoma. And so her foot bothers her.
Right.
And I've been having trouble, but she's about 10 now. And I taught her to let me work with her feet.
Mm-hmm.
And she's getting better. And this morning she was running and playing like she hasn't for several months.
Wow. What's her name?
That's Trinity.
Hi, Trinity.
She says, I come from Oklahoma. Those people threw me away, and I went and I spent 8 months at a vet and
Aw.
had babies. And then she went to a prison and got obedience trained. And then she went to 3 homes in Oklahoma. Nobody kept her. She came to Weld County, went 3 homes here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody kept her. Then my wife wanted a dog. I didn't particularly want a dog because it kind of breaks my heart when they die.
Right.
Well, anyhow, the dog picked her out just pretty good, and everything was fine. And I reached out to say hello. She bit me.
Trinity bit you?
Yes. And I just said, we got a ways to go, kid. And I had her on a leash. And I take her out to the car, see which one. She came in one car. I reached up and opened the car door, and she looked up and said, that's my blanket. But wife wanted a dog. Who's got the dog?
You do.
She follows me around.
Yeah.
She expects me to brush her teeth every day.
Well,
I walk her. I pick up after her. I bathe her. And my wife's all hurt feelings, but the dog just thinks I'm just it.
the Trinity adopted you. You didn't adopt Trinity.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
She does the funniest thing. I always wondered what it'd be like to have a dog wait. When you put them someplace, they're going to wait. But if I go somewhere, it don't matter if I'm gone an hour or 12 hours. She gets her soft thing to lay on, gets up against the door, waits for me to come back.
Aw.
She won't go outside or anything.
Until you come home?
Until I come back.
Wow.
Now, isn't that just a different kind of dog? But she's so smart.
Well, it's unconditional love.
But I figured out what kind of a person trained her. Whoever it was really good. Mm-hmm. But they have this show called The Voice on TV.
Uh-huh.
And this black guy started singing, and she ears up and looking and listening, smelling. And every time he comes on, she does that.
So Trini likes music, apparently.
Well, I think she liked that black guy.
Ah.
But yeah, and she's just such a... And whenever you have to clean up after her home, 1 of 3 places in the yard, every time.
Well, she's consistent.
Talk about a good dog to take care of.
Yeah. Well, or is she taking care of you?
Oh, she does. And she started doing something new. I taught her, to let me work with her feet. That was a real trick, because before it takes 3 people to cut her nails.
Oh.
Well, $15 a pop, twice a month. Well, you go figure out something. Then I remembered I was around some people that had horses, and how they walk up, slap the horse's legs, horse lips it, and you pick their feet, look at their feet and that.
Right.
Well, I used a couple of commands to get her there.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll And now if her foot's bothering her or she wants me to do something, she messes with my hand.
To let you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this dog's just pretty good.
See? Good girl.
And a while back, she had an accident. She slipped on my lap and hurt her tail. She couldn't raise her tail for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then it started getting better.
Look at that. She's wagging her tail now.
Oh, yeah, she does it now.
Yeah.
She's just a funny dog. She is so funny. And at night, when you put her to bed, you get the blanket all ready to cover her up. She gets her head and the front half of her under a pillow. Mm-hmm. And then you're supposed to put the blanket over top. That's where she sleeps all night.
Underneath the blanket?
Underneath the pillow.
Oh, okay.
Both. I mean, that's the funniest thing I've ever saw a dog do, though. She cover up her head when it's time to sleep. And she has done some of the funniest things. I don't know where she got it. Second day she come to live with us, she got on the couch, stood there, barked at me, just chewing on me. Terrible. Finally, I goes over there and, well, what's the matter? And I sat down and she laid down and up against my leg. Well, about 6 o'clock at night, she wants to lay down there beside me.
Aww.
And then I put a little blanket over it, and that's where she wants to cuddle up. She expects me to do that. You ain't going to sit in that recliner. You belong over here so I can lay down with you.
Well, she just needs some love.
Because all she is, she's just a little boss.
Yeah.
And to me, the prettiest thing is to see this dog when you turn her loose and she goes in the hunting mode.
Oh.
Oh, she rats, mice, rabbits, squirrels. She's a good hunting dog.
Huh.
I saw her catch one of each of the above. She used to sit around and catch flies that come in the door.
Right.
But she got a wasp one time.
Ooh.
That kind of took care of that.
Yeah.
That trained her not to do that. Now, are you ready to go home? We got laundry to finish, and I got to go out there where you left your stuff for me.
Well, you two have a good day.
Oh, yeah. You have a good one.
You too.
And now you know my dog's history.
That's good. Trinity's a good dog.
I'm her pet.
Yes. She adopted you. Oh, what a perfect day for a walk. Get to meet new people. Got to meet Trinity. Little something. Bigger than a little chihuahua, if that makes sense. Anyway, so we were talking LinkedIn. Customize your message. Make sure you change your profile picture with a smile. And number 3 is your LinkedIn profile should not mirror your resume. You could use your resume as a template, but this is where your opportunity is to go into a little bit more detail on LinkedIn profile versus going into a lot of detail in your resume. As you know, your resume is going to just be essentially bullet points of what your your career life has been. So that's my 3 tips to you about LinkedIn. So again, that's what I've been doing, working with people on that. What else? That's, I did a short time, not like a prison short time, but I applied at this doggy daycare center, and I worked there for 2 days, and they never put me back on the schedule. What? Oh, another dog. Oh, I love this. Hey, how's it going? They didn't want to talk. Oh well. Dog look a little bit like, I want to say a little bit of Australian Shepherd, but not as shaggy, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I guess it was a tryout at this doggy daycare center, and they kept asking me, well, do you want to be put on schedule? Is this something you want to do? I'm like, yeah, this would be fun. Even though all I did for 2 days, and it didn't bother me. All I did was clean. The inside, so all the kennels inside, and then outside. That's all I did. picked up dog poop, it was fine. It was for me, very zen-like. I could just zone out. I didn't have to worry about having, working with a client per se. I got to pet dogs. Some of the dogs didn't like me because I'm a man, and you might have heard that before, where some dogs just don't like men. I remember the very first dog that I had it wasn't me. It was actually my mom's dog. The dog's name was Christian, a Lhasa Apso. And from what I had read later in life is that Lhasa Apsos were actually trained to warn the Roman guards that enemies were approaching. So it was ingrained in them, oddly enough, not to like adult men. And so Christian, and this is a life lesson for all you kids out there, do not ever put your face into the face of a sleeping dog, because when they wake up, they might bite your lip. There you go. A little life lesson for you right there. All right, what's going on out here? We're doing some landscaping. Anyway. So yeah, I was working at this doggy daycare center, and they kept asking me, do I want to be put on the schedule? I said yes. And all right, we'll get back to you. Still waiting. Just observing. I'm observing right now what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. They're in the really tall grass. I don't know what they're doing. I don't want to sound like I'm weird or something by talking to myself. Or I'm thinking I'm talking to myself. Alright, well, we'll just keep rocking and rolling. Alright, what else? Oh, you're halfway there. Turn around. Well, I'm not going to turn around. I got to get to the grocery store. So again, I'm reading on the sidewalk. There must have been some kind of race, and that's what I was reading. Is it says you're halfway there. The next one said turn around. So there you go. Whew, man, I haven't done this in a long time. That's probably why my back was acting up today, which is a sign that I need to get up more. The new saying, sitting is the new smoking. So you and I, we need to stop sitting. We need to get out more. Enjoy life. Talk to strangers. I don't know. I love talking to people, especially that have dogs, because I love, as you hear that gentleman, talk about the history of their dog. And I don't know. I think I've said this before on the podcast. I'm a dog person, not a cat person. Sorry. Whew. Going up the hill. Not going to break in the song. You thought I was going to break in the song. Going up the hill. As I'm sweating. Wearing my... Wearing my Life is Good t-shirt that I haven't worn in a long time. Yeah. Like that gentleman was talking about The Voice. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be on The Voice. Yeah. All right. Let's talk podcasting. So, I've had some, for the month of May, we've had some, even April. Well, heck, I'm just so blessed that I think we've had some great guests on the podcast, and one of the guests that it hasn't been as of this recording, it hasn't been posted yet. Ooh, got a bicyclist. Don't want to get run over by bicyclists.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy the day.
All right, you too.
I will try. A really good friend of mine. We kid. Well, if you ever call my buddy Zach, his real first name is Brett, but part of his last name is Zach. And so he always says, well, my friends call me Zach. And that was when I was recording the interview with him. I titled the video called "My Friends Call Me Zach," but my real name is Brett. Anyway, so I'm going to be, I don't know how to phrase it. I think this was one of the best conversations I've had with a guest, and it's only because it's been one of those interviews that I've wanted to do for a long time. And let me just talk about Brett. Zach. I love him. Love him to death. But Zach has an organization called bmen.org. And it's about helping men with, and this is one of my driving forces, and this is why I love helping others, especially us men. And just a quick side note, I was working with this gentleman. He's an older gentleman, and he even told me, he said, Tommy, I'm set in my ways. And we're talking about, he does IT work, and he travels the world. And the contract he's on is about to end the end of May of this year, of 2018. And he said this is the first time in a long time where he hasn't had already lined up a new contract, a new job. And one of the things I brought up was, well, have you informed your network? And his point was he doesn't like asking for help. I said, okay, then you're not going to find work. I had to be brutally honest with him, because he has this wall. And a lot of, well, I don't want to, I hate saying that, but a lot of us men have that problem of asking for help. And I told him, it's not a weakness, it's a strength to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. And he said, well, it's funny because my wife keeps telling me I need to have a coach. And so we talked about that. But back with Zach and the B Men organization, that's part of Zach's movement of getting us men moving forward with the healthy mindset of it's okay to ask for help. It's again, it's not a weakness, it's a strength. And so not only did Zach and I talk about his organization, but we also talked a lot about the Me Too movement, and I never thought I would have this conversation. But part of the conversation was because we both have sons, this is a conversation we should be having with our boys about what is the Me Too movement, as men, what does that really mean? And I've had this conversation with Connor several times, but just it's more of me as a dad being a dad. And I was going to take a turn to go to the store, but I'm going to take the long way. Another bicyclist. Oh my gosh. Let's see. How's it going? I love pissing people off by forcing them to say hi. That's just me and my weird sense of humor. But like I was saying, I've had these conversations with Connor because as a dad, you just want to instill in them that, and Zach talks about this on the podcast of a date he had and how the date went way, way bad. But I'll say that for the podcast. But I've had conversations with Connor about how I don't care if a girl, a woman, in any stage of your life hits you. You will never, ever, no matter what the circumstance, ever hit a woman. And at the same time, understanding that he will treat others, male and females, with respect. And again, this is a little bit of the conversation Zach and I had on his episode. So, like I said, I've never thought I would have a conversation about the Me Too movement. Another recent podcast guest, Satya, and I'm not going to attempt to very Italian last name, and I don't want to screw it up. I don't want to, do a disservice to Satya by screwing up her last name, but another wonderful conversation. And Satya has a parenting coach business, and it was fun. It was just a lot of fun, and one of those times on the podcast where we had a guest do some, as I like to say, putting me on the virtual couch, analyzing me, and I don't mind it. I've been analyzed many, many times over. So, turning point parenting, I think isn't, and I'm trying to do this off the top of my head, but Turning Point Parenting, Satya is the name of her business, the website. I don't know what kind of plant that is, other than yellow. I've been talking a lot in my little world about regrets, and that's something I'd love to learn how to fly a plane. I think that'd be cool. Do you have regrets? Do you believe in regrets? I guess I'm starting to think it's okay. It's been one of those things where, I don't know, are you allowed to have regrets? Or is it not allowable? Hello again. Bicyclist came by again. The sights and sounds of northern Colorado. Anyway, what else? So, first episode of Walking While Podcasting. This is very uncomfortable. It's a great way to get out of your comfort zone. Speaking out loud, speaking essentially to one person. I'm talking to you, but realistically talking to the voices in my head. So that's more than one person. voices in my head. I just can't get over it, finally, that we're receiving some consistent, really good weather. I'm starting to sound like an old person now talking about the weather, but it's all good. Definitely will get in my 10,000 steps in today. I'll make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. And then I'll post it. That's what I'll do. Okay. So I'm going to definitely put it out there. I'm going to focus on getting my 10,000 steps. Ooh. That's what I can do. I can take the long way back home. I'll take the long way home. A little super tramp for you. So that way I'll get my 10,000 steps in. I have got to put what's that stuff called? Revive on our front and backyard today, and I want to put getting a lot of dandelions in our yard. So put that out in the backyard. I already did the front yard. I have to do the backyard. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. It's been a really interesting time as of late. And what I mean by that is I've gone back and I've been reading and listening to Think and Grow Rich. And one of the stories early in the book, and I believe I talked about this before, I've even did a Facebook Live on it, but there's a story, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I just find it's really important to emphasize not quitting on your passion projects. And I know there are times where, for example, and this is going to sound really ballsy, but we're only on this planet one time. And if you're not happy, and I know happiness can be as easy as picking up a nice $20 bottle of wine. But if you're not happy with your life, I like to call him the great philosopher, Jim Rohn. The great Jim Rohn. Oh my gosh. If you've never heard of Jim Rohn, if you've never listened to anything from Jim Rohn or read anything, Google him. Google Jim Rohn. And he talks about how you're not a goose, meaning a goose can only, or let's say birds in general, birds can only fly south for the winter. They can't change. All right, I'm going to get real quiet because there are people coming, and I don't want to sound like I'm an idiot. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
You didn't want to say hi. I forced him to say hi. That was first there was two people walking, and then two people on bikes, and the last guy he was looking straight ahead, and I forced him to say hi. Anyway, Jim Rohn. And you're not a goose. You're not a bird. You have, if you're a bird, you have to fly south for the winter. Your internal compass will not let you fly north for the winter, okay? So you're not a goose. You can change your compass. You can change the script. And I know a lot of people, oh, I can't. I'm doing this job. I'm stuck in this job. No, you're not. That's your mindset. That's you putting that wall in front saying, I have to have a job. You're right. But as one of my great friends, Pastor Tony, once told me that you can be fired from your job. You can never be fired from your work. And my work is wanting to help you. My work is coaching you. My work is the opportunity to speak at an event. My work is producing this podcast. My work is writing. That's my work. I can't be fired from it. Sure, I can. So, for example, my weekly column for the Good Men Project, yeah, they can come back and say, yeah, we're done with you. Okay. It doesn't mean I still can't produce content on my own blog, which I do. So I hope that makes sense. That yes, we have to earn a paycheck to provide for our family. But why not do something you enjoy? Why not do something that can create a legacy for your family? Who's out here? They're working on the poles, the electric poles. And since I used to have a job designing electrical, how's it going? Good. I'm sorry. For those of you, my friends, who I used to work with, as I'm staring at two guys in a bucket truck working on electrical wire, I just don't find it sexy. I'm sorry. I just find that work, for me, just not in my wheelhouse. And I learned that the hard way. And, this goes back to what I'm trying to say, is that for me, I was in a job just because I needed the money. And it was costing us, within our household budget, more money for me working because of my commute. With gas prices starting to rise, it was close to $300 a month of just gas. And it was just insane. All right. I don't want to end this podcast yet. We're gonna bring you inside. And you get to, that's what I'll do. I can edit. That's what I'll do. I'll just record a little bit, the sights, well, not the sights, but the sounds of being in the grocery store. And I'll edit to get you back. So you don't have to listen to me not talk. Because I know it's weird. It's weird. And then we can follow up with, what it is. I mean, I know a lot of so-called gurus talk about, finding your passion. I believe in it. I believe you really do need to find what you'd rather be doing versus, again, working in a job you just don't like. Actually, I'm gonna hit stop, and then we'll continue this on when I come out. Part 1, over.